Big win for the Liberty Flames on the road here tonight in Kennesaw, Georgia, as Liberty takes down Kennesaw State 36-21. Alongside Matt Camiri, my name is Nick Pierce. Big South opener in the books. Flames are 1-0 after they take down the Owls. They had to come from behind, technically. The Flames were down 14-13 just before halftime. Big drive to end the first half, capped off by a Buckshot Calvert touchdown pass to B.J. Farrow, somersaulting into the end zone. A lot of acrobatics here tonight, but overall, Matt, just a really nice team win. When you look at it, all three phases really contributed here tonight.
Absolutely. You had Frankie Hickson on the kickoff return for a touchdown. Hadn't seen one of those in a long time. Offense played really great. Was really impressed with Stephen Calvert. I thought he managed the game really well. I thought Coach Daly's staff put him in a position to be successful. I thought the defense, we talk about it all the time. Coach Wimberly is ready for these types of games. He always has his guys ready to go.
I thought that drive right before halftime was really the turning point in the game. Flames were down 14-13. They went up 20-14 going into halftime. But certainly the one that sealed it was the Carrington Mosley 52-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter. Also a couple of goal line stands we'll talk about in just a couple of moments by the defense. But overall, the Flames, offensively, good balance tonight. They got the run game going against a very stingy Kennesaw State bunch.
Absolutely, a really stingy Kennesaw State run defense in this game tonight. But we had over 200 yards rushing. That run by Carrington Mosley from up top, it was incredible. Never stopped his legs, just kept churning. As soon as he hit the hole at the line, he was gone. He saw everything. His vision was great. And you can't say any. You have to mention B.J. Farrow's block downfield. It was a great block. Receivers blocking downfield is what springs those big plays.
That looked like you and Pop Warner, right?
Absolutely.
you weren't afraid to hit the truck stick a time or two.
Not at all.
Well, after the game, we had a chance to catch up with Mosley and some of the other Flames to get their reaction and their emotion after the big win here tonight in Kennesaw.
I just really tried to stay patient with it and just press my landmark because, they were blitzing off the edge trying to get the ball back. So I was just sitting there staying patient and trusting my O-line that they were going to come off and hit it the way that they did. And I just broke through, and I just saw one defender, and I was just like, I got to make a miss. And it was history after that.
We talked about we hadn't played our best football game yet. This was our best football game tonight that we played so far because we executed for the most part. Nothing was perfect. But on offense, we executed when we had to execute. On defense, we had to execute when we had to. And then on special teams, we did the things that we had to do when it was called upon to. So that's why it was a great football game for our full football team.
At moments, you see the goal line stops. It got really physical. They're a really tough bunch. Yeah, size differentiation. We got big guys like Jerron Green, but they're physical. Like they have heart. They got a lot of heart. So you got to match that heart, and you got to use your ability to basically capitalize on just the play at hand. Like it's just one play at a time. You can't just think about the next play. You can't think about the last play because they're physical. And the moment you start letting up is the moment they'll get you.
So the Liberty Flames stopped the Kennesaw State 4-game win streak here tonight. They also douse homecoming as well for the Owls as Liberty gets the win. And tonight for the Flames offensively, 414 yards, but the defense gave up 472 yards. You know that some of that is just going to happen because you're facing a triple option offensive attack. They controlled the clock for a lot of the game, up until the fourth quarter, really. But defensively, the Flames made plays when they had to. Go back to a couple of big goal line stands in the fourth quarter. Nick Newman coming up with big plays both times.
Nick Newman was huge on both of those goal line stands. The first one, it was just a run up the middle. He stuffed it right there. The one in the fourth quarter, the last one in the fourth quarter on the home side of the field where he just was trailing, following the play, hit the guy's shoulder in his shoulders, and he just dropped to the ground. Nick Newman was flying around the field. De'Avante Brown had a career high, I think 9 tackles, led the team in tackles, played great up front. Overall, we knew Coach Wimbo would have this group ready, and they showed out tonight.
Yeah, 9 tackles, 3 for a loss tonight for Brown, who was really, it was just decided late in the week, hey, we're going to start him instead. And it certainly worked out for the Flames, who won this battle in the trenches tonight. They really did, on the defensive line and then the offensive line as well. Remember, we had a lot of questions about the offensive line coming into this because of all of the personnel shifting. We've had some injuries and so forth, but the Flames really pieced it together, and they made it work tonight.
They did piece it together, Nick. I thought one thing that I did notice was that when some guys were struggling offensive line, Coach Wagner and the offensive staff rotated some guys in and out. Aaron Campbell came in, James Passmore was in, Sam Isaacson was in. So they really had a good rotation. You usually see that for defensive line, not offensive, but I thought it really helped. They got the run game established, as we mentioned before. The D-line has been playing great all year. They really have. We saw some plays from the linebackers. They filled in where they needed to against this option offense. It's really hard to stop, but these guys played with their eyes. They played their assignments on defense, and they did a great job stopping it.
And I thought it was so big tonight to get the run game going because we talked about it in the pregame show tonight on radio. You don't want to put it all on a true freshman quarterback. Buckshot Calvert, we know his ability. He had good numbers tonight. Calvert passing 22 of 30, only 8 incompletions, 211 yards. But to get that balance with the run game, you don't want this defensive line for Kennesaw State to sit back and pin their ears and just come after him.
You didn't. They had 2 of the league's leading tacklers, 1 for loss and just 1 overall tackles on their defensive line. You didn't really hear much of those guys tonight.
No, you didn't.
Going back to the offense, getting that run game started, it was huge for their confidence moving forward because now they're not a one-dimensional team. We've seen them play a lot of one-dimensional football lately. Now teams know they can run the ball. We have 3 great running backs who all got in the end zone in some way tonight.
Yeah.
So it's great to see that this run game and this offense is piecing it together. Play of the night, in my opinion, though, Nick, was when Buckshot Calvert was in the end zone and throws the ball away instead of he was getting pressure and threw the ball away.
You're right.
That was a heady, smart, veteran play by the freshman.
That could have been a big play right there. And also we saw some veteran moves with him milking the clock down the stretch as well. All right, wrap it up here. Flames get the win. It's just 1 of 5 Big South games. You move forward, though. The next 2 are at home. The schedule lines up favorably for you. Nothing's given. But the schedule lines up for you, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's Big South play. Any given Saturday, anything can happen. So these guys are going to come in with a ton of confidence coming back home to Williams Stadium next week against Monmouth, who they're still bitter about from last year.
Yeah, the next 2 games, Monmouth and Gardner-Webb. Those
Absolutely.
were losses last year on the road for the Flames. Monmouth is first, though, next Saturday, 3:30 inside Williams Stadium. Fill the bill. It's homecoming at Liberty University. Hope to see you all out there next week. Final score again here in Kennesaw, Georgia from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. 36-21, Liberty Flames win it. For Matt Camary, I'm Nick Pierce for the Liberty Flames Sports Network.